What's up, guys? There we go. Quick Periscope on this one. I'm on my way to pick up a friend. Gotta ask the question, what did you mean by owning your work? So I put out a formula for gratitude earlier. One of the things I listed was ownership of work. You want to own your own work. What does that mean? That's always the question. What does that mean? Owning your work means that you are, in essence, self-made, self-paid. You have created yourself. Owning your work means that what you do for a living, you are responsible for it. You have possession of it. We exist in a world today, relative to the economy, relative to the change in the job market, relative to the change in demographics, where it is no longer reliable to have only one job, to work for only one company, to do only one thing. We live in a world today where, because of the changes in technology, the changes in digitalization, the changes in automation, the literal changes in companies, across the world that are sold and bought and exchanged and absorbed and go bankrupt and get bought out. You have all these changes that have taken place where you cannot rely upon any one thing, and I don't think, reasonably speaking, you can rely upon your future being tied to a singular corporation, to a singular company. It would be irresponsible of you to do so. You have that. You also have the fact that due to so many jobs changing, that working for yourself now requires a degree of entrepreneurship. It requires adaptability. It requires you to adapt to changing conditions. You have to be adept. So to own your work means you own what you do. It's yours. Like I said, you have the claim to it. That's a very big deal for a lot of people, for people that work, and I've gotten messages from lots of people. They're in their 30s, 40s, 50s. I've had clients like this. They work for somebody else. They don't own what they do. Somebody else does. They are making money for somebody else. And not everyone is meant to be a billion-dollar business owner. I'm not suggesting all of you go out and start a franchise right now, but I am suggesting that everybody, if you are a young person, if you're an older person reading this live today, the most advantageous position you can put yourself in is to have ownership, have personal ownership over what you do for a living, for a livelihood, for a profession. If you can do that, then you can always adapt to changing conditions. You can move if necessary. You can change your skill set if necessary. You can add to what you do. If you don't have that and you are forever reliant upon an external job, an external, employer, you're screwed. And a lot of people have been screwed. Some of you probably have parents that have gotten screwed because maybe their pension didn't work out. Some of you probably know people that gotten fired and they got screwed because they had no backup plan. Some of you have maybe been screwed yourself because you got fired from a job, and you're left in a no man's land. You're left financially unstable. Maybe you're left broke. Maybe you're desperate to survive. How do you overcome that? What is the safest way to ensure that you never, ever, or not say ever, that you largely never ever have to deal with adversity in regards to loss of job? You make your own job. You work for yourself. If you work for yourself, you're never out of business. It is that simple. Sounds funny, but it is that simple. So that's my suggestion. Owning your work, own what you do, own how you make money, own your profession, own your craft. You do that, you're anti-fragile, you're resilient. You don't do that, you will always be at the mercy of exterior forces and malicious forces. I'm talked out. Any questions? Welcome. Very welcome, guys. Is this related to lack of fathers in society? You could tie it into that, but owning your work and the idea of being self-made, self-paid, I don't know that I would necessarily tie that in with lack of fathers. That's a little bit of a stretch in my mind. Simply because a lot of people have fathers and their fathers worked for somebody else. So I don't know that having a father gives you the mindset to be self-made, self-paid. Perhaps you lack the mindset of personal leadership. You could maybe argue that kind of as a tangential point, but no, I wouldn't attribute it to lack of fathers, honestly. If anything, fathers, well, I'll say fathers made it worse. If anything, your parents have provided a poor role model for you because they relied on traditional career models of being, employed by one singular entity their whole life. First step, if in a basic position at a company for nonprofit marketing communications, what do you mean first step? First step is what? First step is to get good at your job. Is to learn the skills necessary to excel at it. That's the first step. whatever job it is that you do, always be the best you can be at it, regardless of what it is. 23-year-old, and ask the question again, my man. I missed it. And we're almost here. So, good at job, then perhaps look to expand freelance. Yeah, I definitely, if you could, yeah, explore, yeah, to make it simple, explore freelance. Not saying go freelance, don't quit your job right now if you have anything lined up, but seek a way to refine your skill set to add to it. You know, yeah, exactly. Sir Mitch said, get rid of the middleman. Don't work for the middleman, eliminate that entirely, and then craft a way to work for yourself. Yeah, and the irony for a lot of people is that the majority of jobs that people do today, they can in fact be made into freelance independent positions. All right, hopefully they come out soon. I called them before I started this Periscope. Any other questions, guys? We got maybe 5 minutes max, so throw them out there if you want to ask. Have a plan is first. I'm gonna get on ASAP. Yeah. Oh, do you like Victor Pride? He has a very good website. Yeah. Have a plan. The plan will change. It's okay to have a plan that changes. I think there's a certain almost resentment towards planning because, you know, you can always throw it out there. Well, what if the plan changes? What if the situation changes? So what it does, the point is that you are actively preparing for it with something that's guided and somewhat sequential. Particular skill sets you'd recommend. Communications is one. Be able to talk and speak well at ease. So that's a huge interpersonal dynamics. Speaking, writing, tech, you know, in regards to being able to program code, that's a big one. I can't do that myself, but I've realized the value in that. Quit your job in 2 weeks, pursue engineering business. Awesome, good for you. You know, beyond that, you know, I don't know if I'd call them necessarily job skills per se, but, well, you could call them that. Be able to have a website. How do you gauge how much to charge people for art-related entrepreneurs? That's really hard. If you're an artist, guys, and you're charging for your art, charge as high as you can, as high as people will seem to pay. The higher the better. You know, if graphic design, you know, visual artist, you know, anything that has to do with the medium, if you can get asked for $50, $100, $200, you know, $1,000, do so. But getting back to the job skills, though, speaking, writing, some form of coding, know how to use computers, this basic, you know, Excel shit, Microsoft Word. I'm still amazed at how people are just very poor at that. It's odd to me. That's usually helpful. Have style, you know how to dress well, speak well, present a, you know, powerful image. Health makes a big difference in terms of energy dynamicism. How would you recommend a lifting program when in season for sport, football, so you don't overtrain? Train minimally, 3 days a week, at max, low volume, you know, moderate intensity, just maintain strength levels. That's an easy question. Let's see, job skills. Did I miss anything with job skills? I don't think so. You can keep stacking on stuff with job skills. You know, be organized is, you know, is a critical factor one. Be timely. You know, a lot of stuff to do with job skills, guys, is just the factor of just performing at any job. Do you show up? Do you work hard? Do you do what's required of you? Do you go above and beyond? Are you able to communicate effectively? Are you someone that can lead others? That's a big one. Can you think creatively? You know, and if you could go in any, I think reasonably speaking, you could probably go to almost any environment, you know, for any kind of profession and learn it to a pretty high level just on the job of itself if you had the autodidactic instinct to teach yourself. Are you soured on the teaching profession because it's low pay? I'm not soured on teaching. I think academia, there's a lot of, you know, how should I say this? Academia has a lot of academic incest in which you are doing nothing. You're not benefiting anyone in the world at large. You're just reteaching kids how to be poor. But if you want to be a teacher, you know, teach first graders, kindergarten, high schoolers, middle school, that's a very admirable profession. Just, you have to be really aware of the pitfalls of that profession. You know, the stress levels, they get summers off, the pay, you know, the state that you work in, what's the system of the union, healthcare. Teaching can be very gratifying, or it can be something of a rat race. So, you pick and choose. You have to, you know, put some thought and nuance into this. That's not a yes/no question. I just know from having been close to a lot of teachers that it can be very gratifying or it can be very unrewarding. I have lower back pain at 26. Should I still do deadlifts and squats? Your lower back's probably weak, and or you don't know how to lift right, and or both. So, yeah, you should probably do some version of squats and deadlifts. That becomes a situation of assessing yourself, figuring out what's wrong, figuring out why that's hurting, and then addressing it as appropriate. I bet you're so much fun to hang out with. I'm a thrill. Let's go with that. We done? Yes, no, maybe so, ladies and gentlemen. You talked about hobbies earlier. Can you expand on a good versus bad hobby? Good looking guy, no homo. Best pre-workout? Best pre-workout is inspiration that you are improving. Good hobbies and bad hobbies? Honestly, I don't think there's any such thing as a bad hobby unless it's literally just drugs. Drugs, porn, video games, getting fucking high on the weekend and sitting on your ass, eating fucking Cheetos. Those are shitty hobbies. A good hobby, something that teaches you something that's interesting. Where I know nothing about aquariums, and maybe that's really fucking cool. People like aquariums, generally speaking. Interesting, teaches you something, you enjoy it, and that you have a passion for in some sense or another. What 3 skills you think millennial men should learn? Learn how to speak, learn how to write, be fit, buff, in shape, jack, tan, whatever. Be able to talk to women. Don't ask me about fucking game and pickup artistry because I get sick of those fucking questions. Not that you did, but for whatever reason you guys love to ask that, and I never know what the fuck to say other than I don't struggle with that, and I'm not sure why you struggle with it either, other than the fact that you're just afraid of women. So, what is a Renaissance woman to you? That's a good question. Last question, that's a good question. What would a Renaissance woman be? Renaissance woman, I would say, is, she would define the archetypes of a woman. She would be very feminine, queen-like, Amazonian, a temptress, a mage. She would have the aspects of being able to speak well, being able to express herself well, knowing how to manipulate in a good and bad way. She'd be sexy, she'd be confident, she'd have a level of female insecurity, she'd have perspective, and she would oscillate between the female, let's say fanaticism, neurosis, with also being the female calmness that women have. Women can go hot and cold. That's one of the magic. That's one of the things that's magical about women. Women can be hot and cold, and you should be able to do both if you're a woman. If you can do that, then you should have whatever you want. Kim Kardashian is an abject slut attention whore. I have absolutely no respect for her, other than the fact that she's made a lot of money, but there's nothing admirable about who she is and what she stands for. All right, they're here. Good talk, guys. No more questions. Talk to y'all again.